Hello and welcome to Throwdown Thursdays. My name is David and today I'm joined by my good friend and fellow teammate James.
Hello!
And today we are playing Carcassonne Amazonas. As always, if you would like to learn how to play the rules, please watch Natalie's video. She does a much better job than I do explaining everything. If you want to check out the link in the description or check the link in the top right hand corner. James, we're going to go ahead and get involved in this. I think Ashley's going first. And this isn't like the standard game of Carcassonne. Obviously, we've got the ever-luring river that flows down the middle. So it's not just about the castles, which are, well, the villages, which are castles, and the tributaries, which are roads, and the jungle area, which is basically the forests. The river itself plays a huge part in the game, doesn't it?
This is going to be totally different to every other Carcassonne we've played. So all three boats start at the top of the Amazonian River, and we are going to proceed to explore down the river, whilst at the same time exploring tributaries, other villages, gaining points along the way.
Exactly.
So Ashley has immediately taken the lead. I know we placed the meeple down, but there are little symbols on the tiles which can also help you down the river along your way.
Exactly. Normally when you see those boat icons, that's kind of you kind of want to go on them, don't you? Pretty much straight away to advance yourself constantly down the river.
There is a lot to follow in this version of Carcassonne. I said there are so many ways to move, score points, and at times it can be really hard to know what to dedicate yourself to. I mean, you have 19 river tiles mixed in amongst all the other tiles that make up the Amazonian forest.
So many.
On these river tiles, you will have animals. So you'll have caiman and piranhas, and depending on who's in front along the river, they will score the most points for those animals.
Which is basically what Ashley done just then. He placed the double tile. He didn't move, place the meeple, so he allowed to advance his boat forward one, and he gained all those 5 points. And he gained 4 points additional to you, because you and Natalie only got the one piranha, which is kind of disheartening, but it was a good play on his part. You know, you get an option of all 4. You can choose which one you want.
Oh yeah, so while it is all well and good to dedicate some of your plays and your meeples to the surrounding forests, you know, gaining points on the animals or the villages themselves, it is really important to keep your eye on the river and not fall too far behind, because that will cost you in points later on down the line.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can see you've got a nice little village over there. Unlike the original Carcassonne, in saying that, they had the shields, didn't they, which gave you an extra 1 point. Some of these actually have fruit baskets, which give you 1 point, and some even have double fruit baskets, which is quite nice. A little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if you build up a nice enough village, you're going to be having a party in Point Town.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The extra bits of fruit. You've got a nice 6 points at the moment. It will be 8 once you're able to finish off that village, plus the additional 3 points from those the fruit baskets you've got on there.
Yeah, I mean, if I can, I'd like to look at making that village a bit larger. But I've also got to, as I say, I've got to keep sight of not falling too far behind on the river.
Which you're doing at the moment. You're all on the same space. Natalie made a little misplay there. She placed a tile and she should have advanced her boat down the river by 1 space, but she didn't. So we're just going to play as if that's the way it was, unfortunately, because you can't really. The game state has changed, so you can't really do much about it, can you?
It happens.
Yeah, exactly. It was a board game, isn't it? It's not like playing a video game that, it guides you where to go, etc.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't deter from the fact that we are making a beautiful forest with, a very communal scene. It looks like in terms of villages. They're not too far.
Speaking of villages, look at that village you just finished off. That's 10 points for the village itself, plus an additional 5 points for the fruit baskets you got on there. So 15 points for a village that small is very impressive.
The points in this version are insane.
Exactly. In a 3-player version, you're already close to 50. It is ridiculous.
I'm sorry. We also have to explain as well. So the river tiles with the exclamation marks, which look like rocks that you could crash into, they're basically markers for you to use the double tiles. There are only 4. You will only ever use 3. So there will always be 1 left over. So again, depending on how the game's going, who lays it, you could use those options tactically, because here I think it was me that laid this one.
Yeah, and you was further back down the line.
So I scored. So the person in front will score for the caiman and the piranha, but we, or whoever's in second, will get the points for the piranha.
So you want to give the person in front of you as least points as you can, basically.
Yeah,
which is why Ashley gave put the 4 came in the first double tile to gain the most
I mean,
points.
so although Ashley gets 5 points for that, being the one ahead, we get 4, so he's only really got 1 point ahead of us, which isn't that bad. So again, it's just interesting tactical little plays that you could make at those points in the game.
Exactly. And the game itself is quite generous because if you're not in second, if you're in third place or beyond, you still get to advance 1 extra space, which is pretty nice.
I mean, everyone's just, we have another misplay here.
Good old Natalie. She forgot to move her boat forward, but luckily you spotted it and you moved it forward for her. So it's just still the one that she's missed out on.
You're welcome, Natalie.
All right, so it's Natalie's turn at the moment. So a nice 4 points for her little village. You can see along the river bed, there's a lot of animals that are on the side.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to find a lot of them. There's normally 2 or 3 animals. Normally on the island, the land tiles themselves, there's normally only 1 animal on them. So sometimes it's more favourable to try and get your tent like you have close to the river itself, because you know there's going to be, if you can get loads and loads of river tiles next to each other with loads of different animal pieces, you're going to score loads of points there. Your tent over there, I think, only has, I think it's 3, it looks like. And over here, you've got like a nice 6, which is looking good. And if you can expand that.
In situations where your points on the river aren't quite working out for you, so you want to dedicate yourself to, you just want to try and work out where you can dedicate yourself to other points on the board. So in my case, trying to find the best place with the most animals, or the best place to lay your tile where you can start building up a big cache of animals.
Yeah, exactly.
And in cases like this where the river is just expanding so fast,
it's ridiculous.
It is hard to keep up with it all. As you can see, so as you say, there are animals along the way. There are potential villages, where you can accumulate large amounts of points. But if the river's expanding so fast, you don't have time or the tiles to take advantage of them all, and you simply have to make the best.
Yeah, exactly.
A misplay by me.
Well, you made a little misplay because you didn't advance your boat, but earlier on you placed a tile, then scored a meeple, then tried to place a meeple. Ashley and Natalie allowed you to do it, but because they were ribbing into you at the time, saying, misplay, I think that's what kind of threw you off.
Yeah, I think everyone was just so excited at waiting for a misplay. It's like, what's going on? We can't have a game without James's misplay. It's like more on the counter, guys.
Exactly. It's just like the Karuba yellow meeple, isn't it? We're coming to the end here. We've only got a few more tiles left, and I think that was the last river tile to be placed up. You can see how long the board can get in comparison to a normal Carcassonne game, which normally expands from the middle outwards. Sometimes it does, deviate to certain areas, but this one you can see most of the tiles are right at the beginning. And I guess it all depends on how quick the river tiles come out, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the thing. The map can change depending on how fast the river expands. So you'll probably, on a fast game where you're getting river tiles out at a healthy time, you will find villages probably dotted a lot more alongside the path of the river.
Yeah.
Whereas in this case, the beginning was quite slow, or a lot of our points were dedicated at the beginning of the river. But I think it's just such a lovely expression of the Amazon and the river and what it's all about. Just this long, winding forest, teeming with life, / points. It's just all out there to be discovered and taken.
Yeah, it's really good.
I do love what they've done with this game.
Yeah, it's definitely a good take on it. So we've come to the end of the game. In a 3-player game, only 2 spaces are up for grabs on the riverbed. So Ashley was actually furthest in front, so he gained 6 points for this one. You and Natalie end up on the same tile, so you gain second space with 3 points. If you had managed to move your boat forward when you missed it out that one time, you would have taken it for yourself. So Natalie gained an extra 3 points on this one.
Well, I feel diddled.
Well, don't you just?
Yeah.
So on the board, Ashley's sitting at 103, you're sitting on 87, and Natalie is sitting on 70. And on the board itself, Ashley's actually got the least amount of points. He's got 22 points. You've got 23, and Natalie has 36. All in all, Natalie's got 106, you've 110, and Ashley with 125, which is very impressive. You can see that the point system is huge in comparison.
I mean, considering at the beginning Ashley was he was in like quite far behind in the point stakes
on the scoreboard.
On the scoreboard, yeah, and yeah, to come back like that, I said, don't get me wrong, I think the river worked really well for him in this case.
He took the right opportunity to not place meeples, to gain momentum, to stay a couple of points spaces in front of you, and every single time someone was placing the caimans and the piranhas, it was getting him so many more points. If you look at every caiman that's out from the end of the mouth onwards, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, all the way to around the middle. 13 extra points that he got on top of.
And yeah, for a while there, we were just drawing river tiles, which really pulled him back up into the game. And then it's just a case of, well, if at that point, if people are, pulling the river tiles, giving you the points because you're that comfortably ahead, you can then focus on, making your points on the board. And he picked his play and timing beautifully.
Yeah, of course he did. Well, if we take those 13 points away from him, that only leaves him at 112. So that's only 2 points in front of you. So you can see how much of a difference the river tiles actually make whilst you're in first place. So sometimes that's something to keep in mind.
But you know what? That aside, I think everyone has scored an exciting amount of points there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Very nice. I mean, this was a very exciting game to play.
Oh, it is.
And I don't think it's until, as you say, until you add it up all at the end, that you realise, where you place your villages and you're building up your animals, your forests, and see all that come to fruition at the end, and you think, as I said, all right, I didn't finish in first place, but to build that amount of points up from one village or one forest, it's exciting.
There's nothing more exciting than scoring a lot of, putting in all that effort and getting a lot of points. That's one thing I don't like about some games, where you put in all that effort and you end up with 10 points. After paying for half an hour, 45 minutes, you're like, I done all that just for 10 points. All right, I won, but I got 10 points. Over 100, triple digits, especially in a Carcassonne game, is
that's juicy.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's it. It's the Amazon all over. It's bountiful.
Exactly.
Over 100 points. Well done, everyone. But well done to Ashley for taking a Carcassonne game.
Yes. It's been a while since I think he's won a Carcassonne game, I think.
I don't want to rub it in. I made a mistake.
Well done, Ashley. But yeah, the game is good. It's vast in its points and its complexity with the river. It's just another spin on it, isn't it?
And adding the river in as a point system with the boats.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That's very good. Well, that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.